damn. There's something to be said about Pepper Keenan's vocal style.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was rocking out. I didn't hear a word you fucking said just there, right there.
I know, that, God, starts out so fucking mellow and then just picks it up.
Yeah. It's not exactly new. That's like 4 years ago.
I know. I vaguely remembered it. This was before we started doing this.
Yeah.
We're just over here getting drunk and listening to music on the reg.
Which, that part has not changed.
No, that didn't change. We just added more to it. God, and some little bit of good news on that front, which, by the way, Corrosion of Conformity opening us up.
Corrosion of Conformity is a weird deal. I actually saw those guys when I was in high school.
God damn.
And,
I was going to make an old age joke, but I'm better.
You might as well, because it's the same dudes in that band now as when I saw them playing as a punk band in support of Mama's Little Monster.
God damn. And where the fuck are they now?
Well, I know that was the original record.
Oh, fuck! I thought that was the name of the opening band.
No, and they were playing. that was their like first real successful like record. They might have had some demos or shit like that. You never know in the fucking '80s punk scene, but
right,
man. But that was these dudes. They owned the stage when they played. It's a little stupid little warehouse in El Paso called Sound Seas way back in like '86. I want to say.
What fucking year was it?
I want to say 86, 87.
Oh, you probably got to see them on the fucking Animosity tour then.
Maybe.
When they returned on that. God damn. Because they put out Eye for an Eye. That was their fucking debut. And they put out Animosity. 6 years later, put out Blind. And that's when Pepper joined the band. They put out Deliverance. That's when I got into them. I saw them on Beavis and Butthead.
Oh, wow.
And the segment where they're watching videos and talking about them. It was Clean My Wounds. It's like the opening track off of Deliverance. And I was immediately just fucking taken in by this band. Beavis and Butthead helped out a lot because I was like fucking 13 years old at the time. Beavis and Butthead is great for fucking finding out about new music too when it was brand new in the 90s. But yeah, the whole fucking band, in essence, what really Corrosion of Conformity is, they're all still together.
Well, that was what weirded me out because I know that they were struggling there for a while, and I guess
they disbanded in 06.
Yeah,
like they hung it up. That's when I was like, cool, I guess we're done here, because Reed Mullen wasn't even drumming when they broke up. It was Mike Dean, Woody Weatherman, and Pepper, and some cat by the name of Jason Patterson. They had 4 drummers in the span of 5 years.
Like a Spinal Tap fucking
those are the only other drummer they had outside of those 4 was Reed Mullen.
Crazy shit to see a band still active that I saw when I was a teenager. So
yeah, that's pretty heavy. God damn. And a lot of the punk acts, even though they're probably like shells of their former selves, like Black Flag is going to be in Lubbock, or they've already been.
Yeah,
but is that something that still calls out to you?
From your youth? Not really. But I mean, the same thing could be said of Corrosion of Conformity because they're not exactly they're not playing this shit that I saw them do. That really crazy, rage-filled anti-Reagan.
Yeah, you saw a very different band.
Yeah, I mean, it was a punk band. I mean, it's.
Yeah, the name of their singer at the time was Simon Bob Sinister.
Right. Yeah.
And that's not what you call a southern grunge band fucking lead singer name.
No, this was a straight punk band. Yeah, it was, but that was the thing, man. They would come to town and they played the shitty little warehouse, but they started coming back like every year, and they started playing some reasonably good sized clubs, man.
Did they dig? This was when you were in El Paso, right?
Yeah.
Did they just dig El Paso?
Yeah, it was definitely on the route. And I mean, but that's okay too because El Paso was kind of the central point of L.A. to like Austin, L.A. to Dallas, whatever.
That's true because you can basically just ride one fucking interstate, right?
Yeah,
kind of like going from Albuquerque to Vegas. It's essentially one interstate until you have to go north.
Well, I mean, L.A. all the way through, God, that whole route through Arizona, through New Mexico, through Texas, it's all I-10.
Yeah.
That shit goes all the way to the coast.
I always forget about that southern interstate we have.
Yeah.
I always forget about the southern part of the state in general.
Well, it's pretty easy to forget about usually. But
let's go to Truth and Consequences. It's a great place to hang out.
And you might be saying, why are you cocksuckers leading off with talking about Corrosion of Conformity? Well, because they have a show coming up in Albuquerque in August. Let's take a look down the road. It's like, what shows are we wanting to get the hell out of town to catch? Because I got a busy summer.
Yeah.
That's one we could probably do. And that's probably going to be...
how frequent is it that there's a show? Usually there's a show we'd love to go to, but it's on a Tuesday or a Wednesday or a fucking Thursday.
Yeah, this is like a Saturday.
It's a Saturday.
I thought they'd be the biggest band. You started naming off who the other acts were. I thought, well, clearly they're all opening for these guys, right?
Yeah,
no,
Crowbar,
not really.
a Smoky Nipple fuck band,
whatever. But
and Lopan.
Turns out that Crowbar is a bigger band, I guess, than Corrosion of
Crowbar's
Conformity.
been around for a while. They are a respected member of the community.
I would argue they haven't been around as long as, say, Corrosion of Conformity.
I'm not sure, but Crowbar, let's see, 1990.
Well, ballpark, I guess.
But they are of the same vein as far as like musicality right now, because Crowbar is just as sludgy as Corrosion is.
Yeah.
So that is a great 1-2 punch for sludge metal.
Yeah, and a reasonably good venue in Albuquerque. I mean, it's not.
Sunshine is fun. It's an intimate venue. It's great when it's not packed.
Yeah.
But it's sad because, like, when I went to go see Blind Guardian, that fucking power metal band from Germany that does all the Hobbit songs.
The
last
last time they ever came through Albuquerque.
Yeah, but to their credit, they still fucking played their hearts out, but no one showed up.
Yeah. Well, this is 4 bands, and so
four bands on a Saturday.
And it's on a Saturday in Albuquerque in the go get shots part of town. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, this is on Central.
I mean,
it's on the ass end of Central as well.
Sure.
Before it forks, I think.
Yeah.
Before it forks you.
It'll be all right, and I think that's something we can kind of circle on the calendar, and we don't even have to like pre-buy anything because fucking I don't think it's going to sell out. Yeah.
Oh fuck no, man! It shows that Sunshine don't sell out.
And it's all general.
That there'll be a line, But thankfully, have you ever been in Sunshine?
Been by it.
Been by it?
Yeah.
There's there's a pit area, and then stairs, and then there's kind of like an encompassing raised area that has the bar with extremely overpriced fucking drinks, and like chairs and tables and stuff for a little more of a casual viewing experience.
So the idea is to probably get a little fuckered up and then get an Uber and then catch a ride to the venue.
Yeah. I just hate getting rides with strangers. See, you hate long drives. I hate driving with strangers.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm that is true. I'm really casual with Lyft and Uber. I'm good.
Yeah. If the mere thought of it makes my butthole pucker.
Well, they're not going to take you out in the country and fuck you.
Hey, you don't know that.
Well, maybe.
You don't know that. It's going to be late Saturday night, and I might be imbibed and a little fucked up.
There's like a 92% chance that ain't going to happen. That's
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Well, it's a Thursday show this week, folks, here on the Mead Metal.
Not my fault.
Mead Metal and MMA podcast. Yeah, probably not going to run the normal length, so don't judge us by length. Judge us by girth.
Yes, weight of my heart, not the size.
Yeah, because I got to get out on the road to Albuquerque to go up and shoot some porn scenes this weekend.
Yeah.
Or something like that. But
I'm still insulted you didn't invite me. I've actually been in porn and I didn't get a fucking invite.
Pornhub's getting really lazy these days.
Right, the time to strike is now. The time to strike is right now.
But anyway, so I won't be around on a Friday. So we had the option. We can do this on Thursday or we can do it on Saturday. Well, there's actually a pay-per-view card for UFC on Saturday night. It would have been dumb if we would have waited to do it until then. So
yeah, because then that'd been pooping out a podcast at like 3:30.
Yeah,
and
right.
Who starts drinking at 3:30 in the afternoon?
All of us. But I mean, If we were doing this shit like live, that'd be one thing, because then like, hey, here you go, here's your live stuff. We'd run Facebook Live, we'd run whatever the hell you can do, YouTube Live,
Right.
God, that's just too much fucking pressure. So
true.
So here we are on a Thursday. Now, some of you I know are already asking, hey, wait a minute, didn't you assholes say that you're going to be migrating your shit over to Apple to iTunes? You'd be wrong, sir. You'd be wrong. Well, we did say that, actually. You'd be right on that, but you'd be wrong if you thought we were going to do that right now because, well, actually, you broke the news a couple of weeks ago, or last week.
Yeah, that they basically fucking just overhauled their entire digital media platform.
Why do we want to jump in when the tits are already back in the bra?
Yeah. I'm going to wait for them to come back out and say hello.
Is that a thing?
I don't think so, but it with a little bit of patience and love, it could be.
See, and you thought, oh, we're getting a Thursday podcast. Hey, it's got all the merits of a Friday. So
yeah, it with a little extra because again, this is the day we used to fucking not be assholes on a Friday.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. So you're gonna get the angst of the week, I think.
Yeah. Because we have that shit out, and the residual is still there. Some rage you just can't shake.
Yeah.
But we get rid of the majority of it.
Not this week, son.
No,
you're gonna get both barrels coming on a week, which has got to be fun for Brandon. And we'll get to that in a second. But I got to say this is
nothing's ever fun for me.
I think response here lately has been a little limited because there's been no rage here. Because apparently, when you tell people, "Hey, can't we all just get along? Let's just have a good time. Let's appreciate nature. Let's appreciate the music that's there. Let's appreciate this. That's just
true.
Love
You
everything."
have been going like always look on the bright side of life type of shit over the past couple
Well,
weeks.
I want to go ahead and put the word out to most of you and LJ that go fuck yourself. The rage is back, bitch. The rage is back.
I'm glad. I'm glad. I mean, because if you're just one guy angry, you look like an asshole.
Kind of, you know. So, but if you're two, you look like you're hosting a show.
Yeah,
So
you look like you're getting work done, and that's what we're here to do.
It is the Mead Metal MMA podcast. We come together once a week, talk about the important issues of the day involving sometimes Mead, metal, and MMA. Usually we use it as a platform to bitch about things, or sometimes. This week is going to be interesting, though, because I'm going to get around to the How's Your Week segment. It had to be really fun because there was like a weird little bus that like an executive bus or / a city bus, I suppose. I saw in your parking lot this morning, and you were pinching them in on one side and somebody's pinching them on the other.
I was angry at multiple people because of this.
Because I saw that, I'm like, this shit's gonna be gold tonight, son. It's gonna be gold.
And I had to put up with a lot of shit because of it.
Because they park like a pack of assholes.
Yeah.
Taking up like 4 spots right in the very front 40 of your little hotel.
And here's the thing. All right, I'm gonna tell you a little something about hotel decorum when it comes to parking spaces.
Don't be an asshole.
Well, you would think that'd be enough, but clearly it's not. So every hotel has some form of limited truck parking. You fucking have to.
Sure.
Or else big rigs going to pass you by. Which we can house, if we're playing a proper game of fucking Tetris, we can probably house about 4.
Okay.
4 proper rigs.
Wow, that's actually not bad for that parking lot, right?
Like 1 near the front, 2 on the side, and 1 in the back.
I mean, that's when like
that's when nothing's fucking there.
That's when that big RV's still not parked out there.
Yeah,
from
the RV, the classic
and
car, and the fucking gooseneck trailer with all the horse shit on it. So here's how it goes. If you're coming to a fucking hotel, rule number 1, your ass cannot park under the awning. That's just not going to happen. I don't care how much bad fucking weather's coming down the pike. My vehicle's just as susceptible to fucking hail damage as yours is. Which, little side note, if it ever does hail, I'm pulling my fucking vehicle under the awning because I work there. I can do that. That's just a no-no. And the other no-no is if you are driving a U-Haul or the like, if we have enough, if there are 4 cars in the fucking parking lot that can house 40 vehicles, by all means, use up 4 parking spaces, but use them in the fucking back. Don't use them right in the front where I have a goddamn security camera where I kind of need to see shit and you're just entirely fucking up my entire field of vision. Now, I appreciate the fact that you thought it was an executive bus or a city bus, but it was a shitty religious bus.
Oh.
It was like a Baptist church at Eden where you go to believe, conform, and fucking rule.
The ones that transform the gays into straight people?
I guess so. They're working their magic across fucking realm.
It is funny, though, because like if you're a child, the last thing you want to do is be on a short bus, but the older you get, the more you want to be on a shorter bus.
Yeah, exactly.
Until eventually you have your own goddamn bus, right?
Either that or you want to be the asshole driving the bus where if you just feel like it's a day, you can drive it off the cliff.
I don't know, but like I said, I drove by this morning like at fucking 5 o'clock going to my job, and I went, I bet Brandon's going to have an issue with this.
Well, here's the other thing. And I parked there.
That thing was pinched in. It was pinched in because it took 4 or 5 spots.
Yeah, and I parked there on purpose.
Yeah.
I was like, because 1, that's kind of where I park anyway because I like to have my vehicle in the fucking view of the cameras.
Fuck yeah.
So But here's what compounded it. Not only did the girl working give this man permission to do it, which is faux pas number one, which, by the way, this is the front desk manager doing all this shit.
Oh.
Not only that, she fucking had a trucker call wanting a room, asking if we had truck parking. And she fucking basically did the one thing you never do. You guarantee, yeah, we do. We got truck parking for you. Like, we got it reserved just for you. And she leaves, and I get in, and there's no place to park a fucking rig. There's just nowhere legal, that's for sure.
Right.
If you want to fucking break the law and park in fire lane, you can, which apparently had to be done because this woman came in out of her semi furious at me because the parking spot she was guaranteed didn't exist.
Yeah.
And I said, well, ma'am, we don't really reserve parking. And she said, well, you told me that's how that's what's the case. And I said, I didn't tell you anything because I'm not a woman. The woman you were talking to is no longer here. I just got here about 30 minutes ago. And I'm here to tell you that there is no guaranteed parking at this hotel.
Thank God. I thought you were going to say, I'm here to tell you I'm not a woman and drop trowel. See? Are you not satisfied?
Are you not entertained? And I'll be honest, this job has got me to the point where I'm a little salty with customers that are salty with me. Granted, you have to fucking really be a shitheel to fucking bring it out of me.
Sure.
But it has been a little bit easier as of late. And with this woman, I was very neutral. Like, my voice was very monotone. And which, strangely, got the job done.
Go monotone and dead eyes?
Yeah. I was like, I told her, I said, look, just go find a place for it. I'm not giving you a free fucking room because the parking space you were wrongly promised no longer exists. Which she wanted a free room for it. I was like, yeah, go fuck yourself. I don't think so.
Sorry about that. I had to bribe the goddamn dog.
That's all right for a little bit of peace. But that's just the thing. It fucking befuddles me how someone could think that's okay and sleep the sleep of the just the next day.
What, to get shitty with somebody that...
No, for an asshole to fucking use up 4 parking spaces.
That
just because he's driving a fucking Jesus bus. That pisses me off more than this woman's rage. Her rage was legit but misdirected.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but don't you have fucking legitimate parking that if they're going to do
that goddamn fucking thing could have been parked in the back where there was plenty of fucking room.
Oh, I don't know. I drove by this morning. I just thought, well, it's going to make for an interesting show this evening.
That's all right. I just pulled a little Steve Fields on it, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, went and jerked off on the side. Did you?
That's right. I tried to fuck the tailpipe, but I had too much to drink, so I just ejaculated on the rear right tire.
Love those 13-year-old references. Good man.
Oh man.
Good man.
And I got to say just really quick because this was a part of my week. Granted, last week, man, that fucking Deadwood movie. I don't normally cry at things.
Break down like a woman. Yes.
I can't argue. I can't argue with that probably being the case. The last time I even shed a tear was when we fucking got out of the Alice in Chains concert.
Yeah, man.
But the finality of Deadwood was tumultuous for multiple reasons. One, because it's my favorite show. It's the only show I've ever truly loved. And we had to say goodbye, thank you, sir, to a lot of fucking people. We had to say goodbye to everybody. Because let's be honest, there's not going to be a Deadwood 2.
No. That was the right...
Unless we get to see fucking Dan Doherty running the gym.
That's the right closure for that show. Yeah. They gave closure. Now, I immediately got online to start seeing how many assholes are going to start bitching about the end
really?
Of it, you know, because they came out in droves. Well, actually, they didn't. When Game of Thrones got into the final season, there was like no rage to start, and that would kind of build a little bit, and then more and more casual fans started jumping on. Oh yeah, this is complete shit.
Right.
To where it became a cacophony of cunts. Right by the end of it.
Good punk band name.
Yeah, but I expected the same really out of Deadwood, and it didn't really happen. And I think that's a testament to the fact that the show had been off the air for 13 years. Not so much a testament that I think they closed it out great. I think it was a testament to the fact is it was hard to be a casual fan of Deadwood and then look forward to the movie.
Yeah. Oh, no, absolutely. That's why the movie had to have so many flashbacks.
Yeah.
Every time they started talking about something that they were referencing from the third season, you got a flashback.
Yeah.
Which I understand for being a Deadwood guy. It wasn't needed from a cat like me.
Well,
but I understand you got to make this movie so other people will watch it, because then they'll watch it and be like, oh, this is good. I don't know if it takes the piss out of their sales to fucking watch the entire 3-season series, but hopefully it would fire them up to actually go watch it and find out how they all got there.
Right. The one community that was keeping a very close eye on it was your what the hell? LGBTXQF Foxtrot Lima. I don't know. Because they wanted to see the proper Calamity Jane thing, which is cool. It's fictional, but it's cool.
Yeah, I was
because
going to say, Calamity Jane wasn't actually gay, was she?
No. She had a very big thing for Wild Bill Hickok.
Sure, yeah, which was noticeable in the first
show.
The first season of Deadwood is pretty close to history.
See, there was actually some historical speculation that she was actually a hermaphrodite.
Oh, wow.
And that's what made her so awkward and manly, but maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe she was Brazilian.
Well, I don't think they had the exactly performance-enhancing drugs they had back then. But
no, they had good, strong liquor, though.
But, yeah, I mean, that's to each their own, and it's fine, but it does seem that there's a certain community that wants to be represented in every show possible, even when it was during a time, fictionally or not, but historically was not accepted.
Sure, unless you were in an outlaw area, and it was looked down upon. It wasn't something freely accepted like black folk. It's just something that people hated.
It was, and that's kind of where my problem was at with it, because there were some things in the run up to it. A lot of comments I was seeing saying Joni and Calamity Jane better make some things happen here, or else that's it. I'm done with HBO or whatever. It's like, look, Marge, calm down.
People are so look. I really enjoyed the Joni Stubbs Calamity Jane romantic arc. I thought it was really sweet because Joni Stubbs was in a really shitty place in her life, as was Calamity, and they kind of came together and picked each other up.
Sure.
And then to come back 10 years later, Jane bailed and went and just stayed drunk, and Joni became Cy Tolliver, basically.
Pretty much.
It was grand, and they still had, you got your fucking moment.
Right.
And not only that, fucking Jane Cannery fucking ended up saving Seth Bullock's life.
Yep.
So, which, that was pretty goddamn fuck Harry Manning in the ass, you know? that fucking dummy. Why the fuck was he a deputy anyway? A deputy to the U.S. Marshal, no less.
Right.
He's a fucking simpleton fireman. He wanted to have a fire brigade with Tom. Whatever happened to that?
That's all he cared about. Because he wanted to have a bright, shiny fire device.
Yeah.
And, well. But anyway.
And it's so cool. It was just so cool to see everybody again. To see Tom Nuttall, to see Charlie. And wanted to see how fucking old these assholes have gotten.
Well, and the interesting thing, man, I don't know how deep I want to go on this, but
we can wrap it up here.
You know, Doc Cochran was like, wow, didn't that guy have TB?
That's the thing. That was the only story discrepancy I had. I was like, wait a minute, this motherfucker was coughing up blood at the end of third season.
But let's not be confused, too, by the stats and figures apparently from the 19th century. The mortality rate on tuberculosis was like 92%.
Yeah.
He might have been part of that 8%. But I would have to guess if you're coughing up blood, though, I would think you're beyond the.
If Arthur Morgan couldn't be saved, Doc Cochran couldn't be saved.
Yeah.
However, with the circumstances of the show being fucking killed in stride, where we probably would have seen a finality to the Doc Cochran character, I think I'm totally cool with them just be like, look, do you want Doc Cochran in the fucking movie or not? And of course, that answer is a resounding yes.
Sure.
Because what other doctor would get the job done? I don't want some other cocksucker doing that. As Al said in the third season, he ain't learning a doctor's new quirks.
Yep.
And keeping him around. I mean, we didn't have Adams. We didn't have Richardson or fucking Tolliver due to them being dead and Adams fucking doing another TV show. But overall, I think they did a great job. And if a DVD comes out, which they're hinting that it might, they said there's 35 minutes of shit that was cut out of that.
And I'll say this. If anybody I know signs off on this show and his name is Brandon, and God damn it, that show was ended right then.
Yeah.
So,
I'm a happy boy. Yeah, I'd fucking go outside. I was crying like fucking Dan after he thought Al was going to die.
I was going to make you wash dishes around here.
That's what you should have done. You should have
Yeah,
put me
I think
to work.
I got a dress around here somewhere.
Don't call me no puss.
But anyway, but that's
the manliest thing a man can do is show his emotion.
But what I recommend, get Amazon Prime or HBO, whatever your preference is, and binge watch 3 seasons. And
check it out. Check it out with a friend. Get a bottle of good liquor.
Yeah, and watch the movie.
Fuck yeah. I mean, it's a proper close.
Get to the show now. Mead, Metal, and MMA. We've got the Mead update for the week. We're going to be bottling, I believe. I guess if I get my ass online here pretty quick. We're going to be bottling the batch 1. Probably next week or the week after at the latest. I think we got corks already set. The label's already done. We talked about that last week. Got to figure out somebody that's going to be our mule label or label mule for
mule label. That sounds
going up and getting that shit
connotation.
done. Well, because there's one place
I'm headed up to Portales.
Okay.
I'm headed up to Portales next week. I'm headed up to Clovis.
They do good work on the label side of it. So we'll have all of that, and we'll be ready to rock and roll pretty quick as far as that batch goes. It's really our first as a meadery, our first real batch of 2019, not our last, but
no, we got at least 2 more.
Yeah, a couple. The Holly King is in the works. I'm not in any rush to put my foot on the gas with that batch because I don't intend to bottle that until probably around Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I was going to say, once, depending if the fucking weather is as wet then as it is now, I'd say bottle at the first snow.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a matter of...
Right in that wheelhouse.
It's really a matter of, because, God damn it, sometimes we get no snow. So, I mean,
that's true.
We're going to probably not do a rush batch, but it'll be our standard, 45-day turnaround probably when it comes to Green Man or a green chili batch. Other than that might be probably what we have on the table for this year. We might try to work in a long ships or maybe a troublemaker. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a matter of kind of where we're at. I mean, we have the means to do probably 5-6 parallel batches at a time, but
we also don't have space for many cases of liquor.
Well, and it's dumb for us to build up a huge inventory and for people to go, oh no, well let me know when you have the new one done, which is dumb to me because actually it gets better with age. I don't know why there's this weird hang up that you want to get the first one bottle, racked straight off of a batch. I don't understand it.
Right. Yeah, my boss at work wants to buy a bottle of batch 1 when it's ready and hold on to it for her 5th wedding anniversary. That's perfect.
Sure.
Granted, we'd love for you to drink it whenever you want so you get more, but buying one for an occasion, that's even better.
Right. Yeah, and that is kind of a good way to go. That's
what Daryl did, didn't he? For the Deadwood movie, didn't he crack open a bottle?
Yeah, 2016 Longships.
Fucking show off. Who has that shit anymore anyway?
Not many now. Not many now.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, goddamn. I still would like to go to our friend Don's house and see if he has any fucking cobalt blue bottles full of liquor.
I don't know, maybe. But
I'd be afraid though because that had no treatment whatsoever.
No, that one.
Would run the risk of being soured.
The very first 2 batches we did had nothing in it because we thought, look, we're going to sell these to people, or we're going to give these to people for a donation for our musical efforts, and they will go ahead and pull the cork on it and then enjoy it immediately or in the next week or month. And then asshole was like, no, I'm going to put it on my shelf for years. You don't do it because we didn't prepare it for that.
People missed our intention of making a truly Viking style mead.
So then I had to go ahead and embrace the fucking idea that, hey, some people are just going to go ahead and let this sit for a very long time. So then I had to start incorporating, granted, Middle Ages fucking preservative, but still, because I don't want to go crazy on chemicals. I don't. So we had to start incorporating Campton into a lot of the shit we were doing. We started clarifying batches that probably didn't need it necessarily, but but we did for the sake of trying to make sure that there were not impurities within certain layers of the lees, and it created a big old pain in the ass. So for those of you that wanted to support us but yet wanted to put our liquor on the shelf, thanks but fucking no thanks.
The rare rage on a Mead chapter.
Well,
no, I get it. No, it's that's a thing. You know, it's in everybody we know drinks. We're all drinkers. Well, not everybody. 94.35%, I would say.
Maybe I don't
Which
know.
is not an accurate
I was getting ready to say
percentage
I'd like to see
I know
the
like
scientific numbers,
and I know like 4 people, so it could really be solid numbers.
But anyway, that's the Mead update. That side of it, we'll be getting batch 1 out no later than about a week and a half, which I've got to I got to get shrinks for that. You've seen the label. Do we want to go like a gold or copper?
Based on what that Mead, the color that Mead took on, copper might be really cool.
Yeah. All right. So I got to start getting that shit ordered, so that way we can get that done like next week.
Yeah. If only there was a place we could order it and have 2-day delivery.
Yeah. Well, good luck on that because that's not Amazon. So.
Oh, it's just through Amazon?
Yeah. But you're going to pay the shipping price.
Cunts.
Yeah, that's the whole idea. Is like, well, we're going to go ahead and get this business jumped into Amazon Prime so we don't have to pay for like this shit because everything we do is heavy. Honey is heavy, bottles are heavy, all the shit's heavy. Yeah, but that's generally the one that's precluded from the Prime. So.
Right. Bunch of bastards. What's the point then? What's the fucking point?
Well, because I'm able to watch shit on Amazon Prime in 4K, so that's I'm actually kind of okay with that.
That did make the whole Game of Thrones experience even more enjoyable.
We got anything for metal this week, really?
There's a couple neat little things here. And then the room fills with silence.
Oh, I was going to say, well, no. I mean, that's a couple of neat things. I have to know what they are before you're going to get a reaction.
Well, okay. Well, here's the thing. I kind of was just saying that. I was still looking for the neat.
Oh,
things.
okay. So there's nothing. Okay.
Well, I did. I found something. I finally found something. God damn it. Hetfield and Hammett fucking did the national anthem for Game 3 of the NBA Finals.
Okay.
Emanating out of San Fran.
Yeah.
Even though Hetfield doesn't live there anymore, that dude's still representing Cali.
Sure.
Even though we talked a lot of shit about him on the Rogan podcast a while back.
There was somebody, I don't remember who the fuck it was, and I thought, well, that's great, because that guy looks like fucking Hetfield. I don't remember. I don't know. There's a variety of actors out there now that are like getting into their 50s, and they're taking on the Hetfield look of getting like, going with the goatee look with the short gray spiky hair. And I would say congratulations to all of you. Oh, which, by the way, this great big-ass beard of mine, the timing is wrong. That's the problem. If it's the end of summer, I would suck it up and say, all right, this shit's going to grow for another 9 or 10 months. It's not. We're not even into summer yet, and it's going to be almost 100 on Saturday.
That's going to be the test. Something will be gone or greatly reduced after that day. I want to see how it feels. Because I haven't had this type of goddamn facial growth in 100-degree weather ever.
I have. So, I mean, I'm good. Saturday I get back, and I'm mainly keeping the beard just to be a cunt to a bunch of other fucking people. At a
I saw that when people are cheering like, "Yay, the beard!" I want to be like, "Fuck you, bitches! Keep the goddamn beard, Kevin. Keep it out of spite."
Well, yeah, and I nearly. I mean, if more people would have like really kind of pissed me off, I probably might have. But no. I've got a hoity-toity little event coming up tomorrow night, and that's the reason we're doing the podcast early. And I'm going to be the guy with a receding hairline and a big-ass beard in the month of June.
Kind of like a fucking ginger wearing a beanie in Austin in September.
Probably something right along those same lines. But
not a wise choice.
But besides that, and if I go ahead and shave it off, and then I go clean shaven all the way through until about the end of summer.
So you're lopping the whole fucking thing off.
Oh, yeah.
No, wow, you're going right down to the foundation.
I'm going to look like a woman.
Fucking quitter.
Minus some vag and titties. But
so you're a trans.
But I'll have a clean face. Probably at that point, though, I think if my magic figuring is right about how fast my beard grows, that means I'll have a pretty sizable beard by summer next year, but nothing. It's going to be like this about Labor Day next year. And then, in which case, then I have nothing but growth for about 8 months. So I'll have a pretty big goddamn Santa Claus beard going. I think probably by 2021. Yeah.
I've been rocking this beard. Oh, fuck.
Well, yours grows in like fucking Hammurabi, though.
Yeah, it hits a certain length and then it starts fucking becoming friends with one.
Yeah, well, it's got curls.
Which is a pain in the ass when you're fucking
Mine
trying.
grows straight down like Saruman.
Which that's what I want. That's honestly what I wanted. I'd never let my shit hit this length, so I was always curious to see what it would do. And it hits a certain length, and then it stops, but then just starts fortifying.
Right.
And fucking just becoming this fucking thing that I wake up with a pool of neck sweat right in the middle of my collarbone every night.
Yeah.
But I'm willing to suffer that. But the 100-degree weather, I don't know. Damn, I don't know how we transition from metal to beard care and how much we love
Because
them.
we're talking about Hetfield and facial hair. That's how that goes. That's how it goes.
Hetfield is rocking a very poor Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Well, he's a burn victim, so he can't really grow proper beard anymore.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
But neither can Kirk Hammond. That's just genetics.
Yeah.
God, I'm talking a lot of shit about Metallica.
That's okay.
Let's move on to birthdays here.
Okay.
The only notable one, and I just bring it up because it's fucking Slayer, Tom Araya. Born today, 1961.
Not bad.
Cocksucker.
That dude is what?
Almost 60. 58.
Wow, that's
58.
But then again, I shouldn't be too fucking freaked out because everybody that was hit in the 60s and 70s and 80s are now coming back out again. Look, mark my words, Duran Duran and fuck Culture Club are making a comeback, and Depeche Mode.
Duran Duran has always been active, though. They've always kind of been doing
I
shit.
guess, but Simon
It's just
LeBon's kind of
sometimes
been in and out. You know?
Right. But when they put something out, like, people notice it, but then it goes away. And then they tour and hardcore fans.
They're highly forgettable, yeah. I mean, they own fucking pop music in the 80s, but they're pretty forgettable now.
Also born 1959, Robert Hodgins. This is a fucking Scottish name. Guitar and vocals from Scottish indie rock band The Bluebells. Never heard of them. Never heard of them. God damn.
Sounds like we have a wealth of information.
Yeah, man. Well, we have so much more on a Friday. On Thursdays, it's just quips and chunks of metal news. There's no release list. Like, Rob Halford ain't playing in Colorado tonight because he's got a sore throat.
Yeah.
Where's the fun in that?
If it's Rob Halford, we know why he has a sore throat.
Let's go to MMA after that one.
Yes!
Hey-oh! You know, we were just talking about things we shouldn't say to get pulled off of YouTube. We're fucking hitting it. We're hitting it pretty close.
Bring it, YouTube. Bring it.
Yeah, that's right.
Shut
fucking
us
bring
down.
it on.
We'll start driving around town. I'll get a fucking great big ass speaker truck like we're living in Cuba.
Like Homer Stokes. Homer Stokes fucking politicking out there in the flatbed pickup.
Just running that shit around. We'll just go ahead and broadcast our shit live to the good people of fucking wherever we live.
That's right, and all we need is a midget fucking sweeping because he's cleaning it up.
Yeah.
Speaking of midgets.
Yes.
I didn't. This is actually pretty neat.
Oh, goddamn. This is going to be one of the most offensive podcasts we've ever done.
Probably.
Good.
Well, that's why we normally don't do them on Thursday. In Lubbock at Jaguars Gold, they're having a midget stripper.
Yeah. Is she going to do wrestling as part of her shtick?
No. It's like a straight up show. One of those, and then you can go up to the stage, present a $1 bill, and then she'll do something with her tits or poon. She's fucking 2'10".
Christ almighty. That's fucking shorter than the dude from the fucking Hobbit.
And now I saw a naked picture because when I saw it, I was like, I got to see what she looks like without her clothes on. She's a stripper.
I want to look at somebody really short, and I want to be a pederast.
Well, it's funny you bring that up because when I saw it, I immediately felt ashamed.
Yeah. Yeah, what? I'm not trying to limit somebody's employment opportunities, but Jesus Christ.
It's tough.
2'10".
It's tough, dude. I mean, like, when she's, like, decked out in her stuff and, like, made up, she's very pretty. She is very pretty. Okay. But
well, she can't be gruesome, right?
Well, there are some midgets that are pretty gruesome. Well, we're still essentially talking about that, aren't we? That's what this is.
Yeah,
How many people in Lubbock, Texas are going to go to Jaguars because they love midget strippers? They're all going because they've never seen a midget stripper before live, and they want to see it for the first time. It's fucking American Horror Story Freak Show all over again.
And you're not fucking wrong.
So do you want
to?
Do you want to go?
I'm not going to go.
You sure do?
Nope.
She's doing shows tonight, tomorrow, and Saturday.
No. Go and drink a little whiskey and mind my own goddamn business.
Moving on to MMA, we do have a fight card on Saturday night. UFC 238, coming out of the fine, humble city of Chicago, Illinois.
It's got some exposed spots where it's not a great card, but there are good fights on every side of it, whether it be the early prelims, the prelims, certainly the main card. You want to go ahead and break the ice on? What's going on with
absolutely.
prelims?
I'm just getting a little more viewable version of the suit here.
Well, because the prelims and the first part of the main card are not fantastic, but like I said, even the early prelims are not a bad way to go.
Last time the UFC was in Chicago, I think that's when Yoel and Robert Whittaker. No, that was the last time, I think. Yeah, last time I think it was 228 when we saw Robert Whittaker and Yoel Romero go at it again. Chicago, I'm surprised at how well their cards can go. And as long as this one doesn't suffer an injury in the main card, this is a purchasable card. So just running down the Fight Pass prelim here. Actually, you know what? There we go. We got Angela Hill coming back at strawweight, fighting Zhao Nanyan. Probably said it wrong, but I think I did a pretty good effort to that. Angela Hill's looked great ever since coming back from Invicta before her initial UFC run. Things were not going well for her there. She is the underdog in this fight at a plus 160 with Yan going at a minus 185. Hill's a hard gal to pick against with this second run. But when she got fucking tapped by Randa Marcos, that sent her back to Invicta. No, that was her first loss post Invicta. God damn, I can't say Invicta.
It's okay. Nobody much cares. Who cares? What was it, like 4 or 5 weeks ago, right?
Back in March, yeah.
Oh, it's been long. But I mean, it feels like it's
2
been
months.
Really quick turnaround.
3 months.
Because she just stayed in camp then. So
yeah. Well, because she lost to Randa Marcos in March. She came into April and beat Jody Escobel on short notice.
That was the one I was thinking of. Okay.
And she's basically fighting as much as Donald Cerrone this year.
Or more. I mean, if this chick is just never leaving camp.
Which is why I'm picking Angela Hill. It's probably going to be a bit of a plotter, a bit of a 15-minute battle, but I think Hill's going to get the decision victory in this one. Who do you got in Weiser?
I got Hill. Just because, I mean, she's just more active. Now, if she keeps up this pace, trust me, about 2-3 fights from now, if she keeps winning, I will eventually pick against her.
Yeah, and this is strawweight, so anything can happen to strawweight. Eddie Wineland, a name that we know because of Jose Aldo.
Reebok knows him too.
Or not Jose Aldo, fucking Renan Barão.
Right.
Eddie Wineland was one of the many that he was touted as the one to take Barão down.
Yeah.
And Barão made him look like a fool.
But the dude's had almost like 50 professional fights. Reebok
23-13-1.
Reebok hates seeing him coming down the pike.
Reebok's been having to pay out a lot. They were real happy to hear about Gus and fucking Manuel fucking retiring last week. Like, great. That's an extra $50,000 we get to pocket every time we go to Sweden.
But Eddie Wineland's still fighting. That's the crazy
And
thing.
he's a favorite in this fight at minus 120 against Gregory Popov, 13-1.
When was the last time that Eddie Wineland was actually a favorite in a fight? God, you're going to go back a decade, dude.
Yeah, and really, I don't think a minus 120. It's technically a favorite, but it's not a favorite.
That's a straight across the board, right?
That's just not a favorite. But I'll pick Wineland in it because I'll pick. Well, actually, no, that other dude's fucking 10-1.
That's Vegas. That's Vegas trying to make some action, but.
That's true. Yeah, any of the minus 110 to 140 or the other side, they're just trying to get you to spend some money. The prelims, which I'm not sure what platform this is going to be on.
That one, I think, is ESPN.
Oh, on ESPN proper. Calvin, is it Cater or Qatar?
Cater. Actually. I thought it was Qatar. I think I said that before. You can go back to a previous podcast.
Yeah.
That's Cater.
Yeah. Fighting Ricardo Lamas Cater is a -165 favorite in this.
Carter Lamas, another one that Reebok's going to hate seeing coming up. But
19-7. I mean, he's not getting primo Reebok money, but he's still drawing.
He's
a
getting
little
pretty
bit.
close. I mean, you max at over 30.
Yeah,
so.
I don't know how many of those 26 fights are UFC fights, but the lion's share are.
I learned a long time ago, though, never pick against Lamas because every time I pick against him, that guy comes out.
He beat Darren Elkins.
Like he's going to destroy the world. And then I go, God damn, based on that last fight, I'm picking this guy. And then he comes out, he gets
out and shits the bed. Josh Emmett came in and fucked shit up. Well, Emmett and Bektik.
Yeah.
Emmett knocked him out.
Mossad Bektik will just shut a lot of people down. But yeah.
Not fucking in an entertaining or finishing way, but
and
he will.
Lamas is known for being the veteran that you can step over him, then that means you're into the real heart of your weight class.
Yeah. I'm going Cater decision, man.
I think
this is going to be another. I think it's going to be an entertaining fight, but I don't see either guy being able to finish each other.
Cater gets a finish, I think, in that one.
Yeah,
because Lamas is just the guy gasses too early now for my taste.
Right, I agree. Women's strawweight, Karolina Kowalkiewicz coming back after that tear-jerking knockout loss to the gal that is now your UFC fucking strawweight champion. 12-4 -145 favorite over Alexa Grasso.
This is a fight where both women need a win.
Need it bad. Because
the one that loses is probably going to show up on a early prelim next, and then after that the door. So whoever gets the win here gets to stay on the prelims, and maybe even main event them unless something miraculous happens. Maybe a main event for like a fight night.
If you're talking marketability, Carolina's far more marketable though.
Yeah, but she has to back that up with a win.
You got to win to fucking make money. That's
she has to get the win this weekend.
The only losers people will back apparently are BJ Penn. Because that dude still has a job.
What the hell is going on with that?
I'm going Carolina decision.
Well, that's probably smart, but Alexa Grasso she's got to get a win too.
Sure.
I mean, she's in a very similar boat. Not as marketable, but she's got to get the win in order to be able to solidify where she's at in the division.
Right. I base this pick more off of my fandom rather than direct analysis.
Right.
I'd like to see Carolina get a win after that loss. I think she needs it bad. I think she needs it worse.
She's a chick that actually battled Joanna tooth and nail. And
at Joanna's weight class.
And you could make the argument she might have won that fight. Maybe. Man, It's been a slide since then.
Yeah. Well, they say that after that fight, everyone kind of had her figured out after that. Like, Joanna exploited everything that she didn't do.
Right.
And then everyone took that as a blueprint for their fights, and it does kind of show.
Yeah, well, if that's the case. Because, she looked terrible last time out, man. Terrible. No takedowns, no nothing, no pressure on the fence.
She looked out of sorts. And then that Instagram post afterwards with her in tears. I hate seeing gals like that cry over being warriors,
Right.
Aljamain Sterling, -130 favorite, fighting Pedro Munoz, a bantamweight, who is a +110.
The most overrated wrestlers on Long Island. All right, cool.
Do you think the Aljamain train is starting to slow down?
I'm the only one. A lot of people see a lot of value in what he does, but my problem is that I think he doesn't handle distance well for a tall, long guy. He handles distance way better when it gets into clinch range, which then diminishes every benefit that he has as a long, tall fighter.
Right.
And it's not because of his corner.
Especially at 135, man. This guy has reach for days at a weight division where reach really isn't factored into the equation too much.
Should be. But
it should be now because of him.
And if you're that long at that weight class, then what are you doing trying to maintain range when really all you're looking to do is to take it to the ground? Because his wrestling pedigree. He's always struck me as an odd fighter that nothing makes sense about what he does. Look, I'm not going to talk about, Sarah and the rest of the people in his corner because those are fucking legit people and they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And that's why this guy's in the UFC and that's why he's doing what he's doing. But I've never understood why Why Aljamain Sterling is considered to be a wrestler, but yet he has this huge, great range advantage. Why not utilize that? Why is this guy not a better striker? Why not be able to strike with it? Set up a lot of jabs, leg kick, shoot for that single leg with a forward momentum, and then you're going to be able to always get a guy on his back. And as a wrestler, then you can go ahead and then do your damage, out of half guard.
Right.
Well,
here's the problem with Aljamain and his wrestling in this particular fight. Pedro Munoz has one of the fucking gnarliest guillotines in the game.
Well,
in the game.
Your wrestling is always negated by a guy with a great submission ability from the BJJ field.
Yeah, and let's not forget what he did to Cody Garbrandt in his last fight.
Oh, yeah.
Granted, Cody Garbrandt's a broken man. He probably, if he fought the Garbrandt that fought Dominic Cruz, that fight would have been a lot different.
Right.
But he fought a broken man and made him look like it. But at the end of the day, I do think I would love to see this guy's wrestling. I would also love to see if that fucking striking has been bumped up a tick. That'd be great. I think it's going to be Sterling via decision.
I'll go Sarah and Longo more than I will go Sterling, but yeah.
Yeah.
But
well, they're just fun and entertaining.
Well, but I mean, they're his coaches.
They're fucking great coaches.
I think he will. I think he'll scratch out a decision win.
And closing out the prelims is Tatiana Suarez, undefeated, minus 1,100 favorite, which, don't worry, there's going to be one more 4-digit favorite in this. Fight Nina Ansaroff, who happens to be dating a certain MMA women's champion.
Right.
Plus 700, by the way.
Suarez, by the way, is pretty much... People are already going ahead and crowning her as the champion of this weight division.
Of the 115?
Yeah.
But why when Andrade is there? Granted, she can't do anything about being held up at gunpoint, but she's still the fucking strawweight champ.
Well, because the problem is that Suarez is actually considered to be probably the most pure MMA fighter, I think, in the ranks at 115.
Yeah. It's really going to be a matter of whether or not Nina, her striking has gotten any better thanks to being in a relationship with Jessica Andrade, because being in a relationship with her, you're going to be able to train with her and her camp, and you're going to have access to some championship-style fucking knowledge. I just don't see it happening here. I think Tatiana is going to have this done in the first round via some form of choke.
Suarez is going to finish this in the first round, and it's going to be the immediate call for the title. Immediate.
Wow. Well, after beating the champ's girlfriend, I think that's probably... The storyline makes sense, really, and we're in the era of entertainment in UFC.
No, I mean, I've never seen anybody outside of Conor McGregor probably lauded with this gold carpet, like, here you go, this is the next champ of this division. Outside of Suarez is it.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to that UFC main card, shall we?
All right, the pay-per-view.
Opening up, your heavyweights, Tai Tuivasa fighting Blagoy Ivanov. Now, Tuivasa is the favorite in this, and minus 170, Ivanov plus 150. Tai Tuivasa got handed his first loss in his last fight.
Yeah.
Well, it was Junior Dos Santos.
I don't see that happening 2 fights in a row either. And you're not exactly dealing with the hands that Junior Dos Santos has.
And let's also keep in mind, but let's also remember that Ivanov has fought guys like Fedor. And sure. I feel like when you fight the best, you got to take something away from it. You know what I mean? If you don't, you're not a top-tier fighter.
John Jones always says that every time he fights a guy, he takes his skills, or whatever.
Oh, so he's like the Shang Tsung of UFC.
Like it's some kind of weird superhero fucking thing. But I mean, no, that's what he said.
It makes sense, man. I mean, I feel like you can learn more from a loss than you can from a victory.
But man, Tuivasa all the way. I mean, this guy has got a crazy skill set for heavyweight.
Well, this is basically your next Mark Hunt.
Yeah.
Tai Tuivasa, Australian. He's a big guy who cuts weight to 265.
Moves great.
He does. And maybe he was thrown in with JDS a little too soon. But I think he's also being thrown in with a guy who's long in the tooth, man.
And he looked really good against JDS, but the problem is everybody always looks good against JDS.
Until he punches you in the fucking mouth.
And that's it.
And but that's what the heavyweight division is.
Yeah.
I'm going to disagree. I think Ivanov is going to take it, but I think he's going to take that tank away from Tuivasa.
I think Tuivasa finishes it early. I think he finishes it early. I think we get an early finish on the pay-per-view, first one out.
All right, loser has to drink his own piss.
No. That's
so you're not that confident?
I'm not that comfortable. God damn, I will never be that comfortable. My picks,
never comfortable.
My picks usually suck.
Never comfortable to gamble drinking your own piss?
Nah.
After that, at bantamweight, we got Jimmy Rivera fighting, is it Peter? P-E-T-R? Peter? Peter Yan? Peter. I'm calling him fucking Peter. Peter Yan.
See, this is the weird blind spot on this card. I'm not saying it's not going to be a good fight. Jimmy Rivera always puts on a good fight.
Yeah. Yan is a minus 355 favorite versus plus 295 for Rivera, by the way.
This is one that doesn't belong in the main card. That's all I'm saying.
Compared to what the prelims and the fight pass have?
Yeah.
I think it's fine.
Jimmy
Rivera is a big name at bantamweight.
He's a
top
very
5.
big name. But why? Yeah, I don't necessarily know that necessarily his opponent brings the $60 fucking range of what an average fan is going to spend.
It does because of the company he's keeping around it. People are not paying for these first 2 fights. They're really paying for that middle fight that we're going to talk about next, and one of the 2 fucking championships.
Which should be noted, this card is built on the one fight that's not a title fight is the biggest fight of the evening, and then we get a letdown of 2 title fights, if that tells you anything.
Man, let's go ahead and get this pick underway so we can talk about them last 3. I'm going to go fucking Rivera decision.
Sure. No, I think
Rivera's another one that if you had $100 in Vegas, throw it down because you'll fucking bring back nearly 3 burgers.
They put the dude on the main card, not the prelim card. He's going to get a finish.
See what Sherdog had. Sherdog has Yan by clear decision. Oh, we're disagreeing with Fuck.
I'm all right.
Which leads us to the fight. I didn't think there was going to be a fight on this card I was looking more forward to than the co-main event, but God, this is going to be fight of the year.
This is going to be the biggest fight. This is what the problem I have with the UFC stating that they don't want a non-title fight to be the premier fight of the evening.
They have no idea what they're missing out on if this were a 5-round fight.
This is their own attachment to their own stupid nonsense is the biggest problem that I see that's facing the UFC as an organization.
Well, think about this. Cowboy, if he's headlining a TV card, putting asses in seats. Hell, we saw him fight in Austin.
Absolutely.
But now the dude has hit that strata again where it's like, well, God, now he has to fight people that we wouldn't fucking have him be fighting on free TV.
Of course.
So but it's that strange middle ground where...
But where I'm coming back to is the fact the UFC wouldn't book Conor McGregor against Donald Cerrone.
It's not that they wouldn't do it. Conor wouldn't do it, man. UFC would have done it. If Conor had agreed, we would have had Conor McGregor, Cerrone in a 5-round non-title
Somebody
fight.
Somewhere is lying then because Conor had said that the fact is that he demanded that he would be on the main event. And the UFC said, no, we'll never put a non-title fight ahead of a title fight.
Yeah, that's one thing UFC could learn from Bellator.
Fucking it's spades, dude.
Yeah.
They could learn that in spades.
They really could. Fuck.
I wanted Cerrone McGregor. That's the fight I want. But that's not the fight we're going to get. We're going to get actually one of my favorite fighters remaining, my favorite remaining fighter, active fighter.
Outside of Jeff Neal. Jeff Neal is that up and rising motherfucker. Got to keep that name alive in my mind.
But fight against a guy
psychopath.
Who's a murderer.
A psychopath. He's crazy.
The one guy I think that actually can beat Khabib Nurmagomedov. Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Yada, yada. This is your fight of the year.
Tony Ferguson is the one guy that should hold the 155 strap. Yeah. Not some
interim
impoverished
bullshit.
fellow from Russia.
Yeah, and he shouldn't have an interim belt. They got taken away from him because he tripped over a fucking cable and was out for 4 months when he should have been out for probably 9.
When these assholes let Cain Velasquez hold the heavyweight title for 2 years without a fight. This is that organization. This is why it's hard to be a fan of the UFC.
Well, now that we're in the ESPN era, on top of being in the entertainment era of the UFC, that shit's going to happen all the time. If that fucking champ ain't ready, interim belt. Even though if that guy could defend that belt 30 days later, we're still getting an interim title fight.
Well, Whitaker will fight once and be on the shelf for 2 years. So is that who you want at middleweight?
That's just a fault in his character, I think.
Well, but so we're going to get Tony Ferguson.
Ferguson, by the way, the favorite in Vegas at -165, Cerrone plus 145. And honestly, that makes me like Cerrone's chances more. Guy does great when he's an underdog.
I'm bipolar on this. As a no,
bipolar?
Well, because as a fan, I'll be rooting for Donald Cerrone all day long. This guy came back to 155.
And is murdered
not as a reigning champion or anything. He came back to 155 because he felt that's the weight class he's belonged in all along.
Beat the fuck out of a rising prospect in Alexander Hernandez and then changed Al Iaquinta's face for him.
Beat the brakes off of him.
For 25 minutes, by the way.
And so now he's going to be fighting the guy who is, by the way, the legitimate 155 champ. That's not going to be a popular opinion in Russia.
Well,
but the guy that legitimately was going to be the 155 champ, he's going to be fighting him. And Tony Ferguson, frankly, has more tools than anybody in any weight division, I would say. Name somebody that has more crazy striking, odd things that go on within that striking complex that also involve clinch, which also involves sometimes takedown,
right.
Which also involves sometimes just a scramble.
Sure.
The guy is he's better in clinch, he's better in scramble, he's better in striking, he's better in everything.
Compared to Cerrone?
Well, but that's where this is going to come. That's where the rubber's going to meet the road.
I think Cowboy...
As a fan, I want to see Cerrone get the win, but as a reasonable, logical fan of the sport, I don't know how Cerrone wins.
See, I think Tony and Cowboy are fucking so well matched. I think skill-wise it's even. The only place where I think Tony Ferguson has a great advantage, and it's probably going to win him this fight, is his pressure. That dude is on your ass the entire fight. And Cowboy is a slow starter.
Well, he used to be.
He still is. Well, dude, Al was catching him like halfway through that first round.
Let's not forget that Cerrone was throwing some great counters. That's the one thing on a slow starter. If you're a slow starter and you don't have a counter game, that's going to be a fucking tough deal until you're able to start getting your heels under you in the second round. Cowboy Cerrone has fucking developed a great counter game.
Yes, but he's never fought anybody like Tony.
Well, that's
and
true
Tony's
too.
never fought anybody like Cowboy. Let's be honest. Like I said, this fight I think should be far more heavily contested than people are giving it credit for. Everybody's giving it to Tony. Everybody's just immediately giving it to Tony.
No,
by a goddamn finish.
No, I don't do that. But I will say this is that I think the rational. If I had to fire up the rational side of me, I would say, yeah. Well, that's it. Just because Tony's got too many things that Cerrone doesn't have a fucking answer for. But the fan in me says, fuck you. He doesn't have to have that. Cerrone has got the ability to sidestep a lot of the shit you're throwing and throw something that's going to probably really hurt you in the long run. He's also got the ability, if it ever goes to the ground, I like Cerrone's chances on the ground way better than Ferguson's.
And Ferguson is a goddamn savant on the ground. That's what I'm saying. This fight is this is the best fight matchup we've had all year as far as skill sets go.
If he can get fucking Kukui on his back, if El Kukui can get on his back, Cerrone is going to be able to finish that on the ground.
If it goes to the ground, be prepared for people to bitch about it. But be prepared for fucking fans like you and I to fucking see a goddamn masterclass.
You're going to see
on both sides. On both fucking sides.
High level.
Whether it's Cerrone on top control or El Kukui on top. So who you got?
Well, I already said what the two sides of my mind are.
Can they come together?
I have Cerrone by a late third round finish.
I got Cerrone via split decision.
That's probably smarter. Yeah.
I think Tony's going to give him a lot of fucking problems and win that first round.
I think Donald actually targets a knee that
surgically repair. Dude, that's what what's his face tried to do. Pettis. That's what Pettis tried to do, and it seemed like it was working because eventually Pettis tagged fucking Ferguson and put him on his ass.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that that's probably the way the fighting should go, but if you're not trying to fight for the advantage, you're in the wrong game.
It's going to be some of the best 15 minutes we've ever had the pleasure of watching in the fucking octagon in the past, I'd say, fucking 5 years.
Yeah.
Co-main event coming up.
We got 2 other fucking fights, but okay. Yep.
Yeah, I know. Like, yeah, after talking about that, I feel like we're done.
This is the best fight of the year, and the UFC doesn't recognize it. It buries it on a pay-per-view, and that's fine.
I don't think it's necessarily buried. It's on a double title pay-per-view. And people are buying this pay-per-view to watch that
for
fight.
that. I know. I think
it's great.
They need to get off their ass and figure out that title fights aren't necessarily the end-all, be-all of their promotion.
Especially when you're pooping 2 out at a time.
Yep.
Women's flyweight championship fight, your co-main event. Valentina Shevchenko at a minus 1,300 favorite. My wife is doing so well these days. Fighting Jessica Ai at a plus 850.
I got, if you're in Vegas and you want to throw some on the sports book, I mean, yeah, throw 100 on I, but I don't see where it's going to happen. I don't see where that's going to happen.
It happens in Fantasyland. Same place where midgets pole dance, and everybody's happy with who they are in life.
But it's problematic because the fact is that Shevchenko is, well, she is she's a known quantity, okay? Do we know anybody else at 125 that has those skills? Outside of somebody wanting to drop down from 135, do we know anybody that can challenge her? I have nothing against Jessica Ai. Look, trust me.
Me neither. I'm a huge fan. I think it's great that Alex Poirier has been a part of his part of her training camp.
Friend of the podcast has actually been very involved because
dude posted a picture of him sparring with Gray Maynard earlier. It's been great.
Ohio and proud. I get it.
Fucking
but man, this is a woman that was built for battle. And Shevchenko.
If I is able to do this would be the impossible. If she's able to do the impossible, which it can be done, I'd be amazed. I wouldn't be pissed. I'd be fucking amazed.
No.
But I think Shevchenko, I don't see Shevchenko having, goddamn, unless she just lands one of them calves to the goddamn dome, man.
Well,
puts her on her ass, gets on fucking mountain.
I think the other fact of the matter is too is that Shevchenko's going to have to be on her game for her wrestling because of the fact that Alex is that guy's an extraordinary. He's worked with wrestling teams throughout Ohio and in his hometown, and his own shit's really it predicates the ability to move beyond wrestling to being able to raise your striking ability. The thing is, she's going to be dealing with Shevchenko, who's got striking ability that works its way down to wrestling.
Right. Well, not striking that works its way more into clinch and grapple, because Shevchenko is a Muay Thai murderer,
and that's kind of where it's at, and that's why the Vegas odds. Vegas can't be that wrong. They've been that wrong a couple of times.
Holly Holm.
But not often.
Not often. It happens every 4 to 5 years, maybe.
Yeah, this
like
ain't
a huge lopsided win.
This ain't it.
It's not going to happen. Yeah, I got Shevchenko. Oh, God.
I got her in a finish in the second.
I can't argue with that. I want to give I the third round. It's going to be second round, and it might be a tap.
Right,
might be a tap, or she might go to sleep. But I wish her nothing. But I mean, best of luck to her.
Well, and it's a new women's division. Just as they need to collapse the men's 125, the women's 125 is really picking up some heat. And I kind of dig that.
And since goddamn, we've already almost hit $110. Okay. Main event. Henry goddamn cringeworthy Cejudo fighting Marlon Moraes for that vacant bantamweight belt that TJ cheated and left alone at the goddamn bar. Who you got and why?
It doesn't really matter. I got because
I want Marlon Moraes.
Cejudo wins. Then go ahead and close out the 125. Moraes wins. Then that means Cejudo's got more work to do in a division nobody cares about at 125. Because the best fighter in really the history of active fighters right now, and that has to do with Mighty Mouse, couldn't fucking make anybody care at 125. The promotion is trying to make people care for Cejudo, but they don't.
Yeah. Well,
Cejudo loses this fight They'll keep the 125. Marlon Moraes is a 135 champ. They will set up a fucking rematch within 6 weeks for Cejudo again.
Against Moraes?
Yes.
But what if Moraes knocks him out in the first round? Because Moraes loves to throw uppercuts when
Doesn't
people
matter.
shoot for takedowns.
I don't think it matters. The promotion has hinged their lower weight classes on Henry Cejudo.
Well, it'd be painfully obvious and a little bit embarrassing, but I hate fucking Henry Cejudo. I think he has the charisma of a goddamn dung beetle.
I've got a couple plants around here, mostly in my little fucking garden out front. Yeah, that have got a little more personality than Henry Cejudo.
Yeah. I smelled marijuana that had more personality than fucking Henry Cejudo.
Yeah, and we're not talking about that, but yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
That's what you're talking about. Okay, so let's get to the picks for the week.
Which, yeah, by the way, Moraes' first round knockout.
Yeah, what you drinking?
Well, I have nothing now, but I'll be continuing
Bullet
a little bit of
95
Budweiser
rye.
and a little
Bullet
bit of
95 rye. Let's get you going on that. Okay, music for the week. What you got?
doing there?
Pushing along.
You're railroading me. Don't railroad me.
Pushing the fucking engine forward.
I will be listening to fucking Clean My Wounds off of Deliverance by Corrosion of Conformity.
Yeah, that's right. I'll be listening to Down. Eyes of the South is where that's going to be.
Racist.
Not really. Okay. Actually, not at all. All right. Fights.
It's more a joke for Down.
Fights. Got, I'm going to go, wow, what kind of upset were you looking at? I'm trying to find an upset.
I'm looking at Cerrone tapping Ferguson. That would be an upset. That would be an upset for the means. If Cerrone knocks him out, that's fine.
Henry Cejudo getting caught and laid down. Yeah.
Oh, you're just echoing my pick for the fight. First round uppercut knockout
but
when he
Cejudo
shoots
is
him
the
for
favorite,
takedown.
though. So.
Yeah, he is, but he's also an asshole.
Yeah, he is. All right. Okay, well, we're assholes, too, so that's it. We got to get some drinking done early because we're trying to crunch Friday to a Thursday. Hope all you assholes have a good weekend. Watch 238. We'll be back at this again a normal week next week, and after that, anybody's guess.
Doesn't know. Felt like being played off at the Oscars.